Hi, I wanted to welcome you to this Career Peer Ambassador workshop called It's All Work Experience. It's all about the art of turning your volunteer work, side jobs, activities, educational experiences, and hobbies into transferable skills and translatable experiences for your resume. This particular discussion about resume building is intended for those that are getting ready to launch into their first career position, as well as people that are getting ready to transition from one career to the next. So we want you to be able to harness all the experiences that you've had over your life and turn those into skills and experience for that job that you're really looking for in your career. First, I'll introduce myself. I'm Amy Redding. I am a current career peer ambassador with the Transfer, Career, and Evaluations Department. I have a bachelor's of science in biochemistry cell biology from UCSD, which was followed up by a 10-year career in biotechnology. And after that, I decided to embark on a career as a volunteer advocate for families and students in San Diego with a social justice focus. And then I decided to explore other career options to find that third career, and it led me to Mesa College. And so this is where I currently attend, and I work as a career peer ambassador to help students with their job search and the road to from school to career. And I myself will be beginning a master's program in social work starting in fall 22 at Cal State San Marcos. So there's only one really overall learning objective for this workshop, and it's to build your confidence in your ability to create a compelling yet honest narrative for your resume, utilizing your personal experience. By the end of this, I want you to be able to recognize transferable skills in a job description and line that up with your personal experience. I also want you to be able to understand the concept of translating your experience into how it addresses the requirements in a job description. And we'll talk about how you can craft those particular work experiences so that there is overlap between what you've done and what is asked for in the job description. And then we want you to know how to get help creating your resume. So first, I kind of wanted to go with you over the traditional resume format. You can see it has the header up at the top with current information, particularly your contact information, because you want your the potential employer to be able to reach you. So I have listed an email address and a phone number. And I just did put just the city and the state and the zip code rather than just my full address. And this is completely acceptable, particularly in a day and age where, you might want to protect some of your personal information. So just listing the city and state and the zip code of where you live is perfectly acceptable. Also, you want to make sure that your the email address that you use is professional. Then we have an objective. Then we list your education, skills, and experience. And all of these, like the education, the skills, and the experience in particular, can all be moved around based on the needs of the resume and how you want it to match up with the job description. So if you are applying for a job and have little experience in that particular career area, you might want to lead with your education and your skills and then follow up with experience. But if you have strong work experience in a particular career field, say you want to apply for a biotech job and you have had experience in biotech, you're going to want to lead with your experience rather than necessarily your education and your skills. So it's all dependent upon you, as well as your experience and the needs depicted in the job description. So first, we need to talk about building your resume, and it starts even before you put anything on paper, so to speak. You need to draw inspiration from the job description and from your corporate research or your organizational research, because you can also find out a lot about what a company is all about based on the research that you find out about them. And so you will be able to use their language and be able to draw from your description of what you have done to show an alignment between you and the company or the organization, not only just with regards to the job, but as well as to like your philosophies. And so the more that you look like a match with the company, the more likelihood that your resume and cover letter are going to end up on the interview pile, which is your ultimate goal. So I definitely want you to spend time thinking about what you have done and all the skills, and use that job description and use your research to remind yourself like, oh yeah, I remember I did that. Oh yeah, I remember that I demonstrated that skill. So you need to devote time to thinking about all your experiences. And then we want you to create a narrative around your skills and experience that overlap with the job description. So that's where you can see how important it is to have a job description or an internship description, as well as potentially corporate or organizational information, so that you can make sure that you align as much as possible. Because like I said before, you are more likely to get an interview if you already look like the person that should be in that position and working at that company. So the first thing that we're going to talk about are transferable skills. And these are often referred to as career readiness skills or soft skills. Transferable skills are useful skills across all jobs and industries. And transferable skills can be used to relate your past experiences to the new job opportunity. So I'll get in a little more detail on what that looks like, because I think examples are much better to use, but we're just going to go over this definition real quick. And then transferable skills are listed under the skills section and demonstrated in the experience section of your resume. You really want to make an effort to have a comprehensive and cohesive story about you. So anything that you like, I'm sorry, I'm looking for the right word. You want to strengthen your skills and your experience by melding them together. So like you talk about your skills and then you show how you demonstrated it in the experience section, because you could just list skills on there, but when you get down into the experience, they'll know how you used those skills in previous experience. And like I said before, these are transferable skills. They're things that you use all the time in, class projects or in other jobs that are totally unrelated to the career that you're looking at. So translatable experiences, I want you to approach any experience that you've had as possibly being relevant to the job that you're applying for. So first, you have to be open to that experience. And you know that you began your job experience or building your experience through group and individual projects, during formal and informal jobs, through work-related experiences and volunteer work, and while pursuing hobbies and interests. You just need to demonstrate through your resume that your experience is relevant to the job that you seek. Your goal is to showcase your potential. The employer knows that you are applying for an entry-level position, and the employer knows that you're making a career transition. So your job is not necessarily to show, oh, I can already do it. You're actually showing them that you already have the skills and experience that can help assist you into this new job, into this new career, this new entry-level position. So here's some examples of some transferable skills. Communication, whether it's verbal or written. I would also include here, if you are multilingual, It's always important to, it's always a great selling point to have, if you are multilingual, to have it listed in your transferable skills. Dependability, teamwork and collaboration, organizational skills, the ability to adapt to new situations, problem solving, critical thinking, empathy, initiative, literacy, technology literacy, customer service, professionalism, leadership, global and intercultural fluency, attention to details, and creativity. The skills that you're going to list on your resume are going to be the ones that overlap with the job description. You don't want to just go through a list of transferable skills and just list every skill possible. You want to make sure that you tailor a list between 5 and 8 skills onto your resume, and to make sure that you can show that you have demonstrated those skills, whether you're going to do it in the work experience piece, but also there's the component too of the cover letter. So I wanted to bring up the cover letter just a little bit here, because the brainstorming is not only important for writing the resume, but it's also very important for writing the cover letter, because cover letters are very important. Whereas the resume goes long, the cover letter goes deep. And so I definitely want you also thinking, while you're writing your resume, be thinking about those stories, or thinking about those experiences where you could go deeper, where you want to share more about that experience. So definitely going wide with the resume, but always keeping in mind that those stories, that narrative that you want to continue through your cover letter. So these transferable skills can be inspirations and be used and woven in through your cover letter. So if you wanted to learn more about career readiness skills, and actually kind of like maybe figure out where you've demonstrated them in your experience, and even come up with a plan on how you can improve, we recommend going to the San Diego Mesa College website, and you can find the online Career Ready Guide. And it is a completely free career preparation tutorial to help develop your professional skills and get the job. These are 8 self-paced career tutorials that you can choose from. And at the end, you get a certificate. So you can totally like list that on your resume. And you can learn more about what each of those 21st century job skills are, how you perhaps have already demonstrated those skills. And if you wanted to like continue to develop those skills, develop an action plan around how to gain more experience with those skills. So please go ahead and visit the Career Center to go ahead and take that self-paced tutorial. And you don't have to take these in any particular order. Just take them as you would like them. So here we're going to do a little bit of a transferable skills word search. And this is a job description that I pulled off the internet for the San Diego Loyal Soccer Club. And they're looking for enthusiastic individuals to join their program. And so I'm kind of like going to go through this and point out to you things in the job description that would make me scan my skills and my experience with the potential to include these in my resume. So for starters, in the job description, I see the word enthusiastic. So I might be thinking about skills that I have demonstrated where I show enthusiasm. We also have like help guests and customers have a positive Memorial Game Day experiences. So that speaks to definitely customer service. So if you have any customer service experience, you're definitely going to want to include that, you have customer service skills. And you can even elaborate on what those skills look like. Like perhaps you have empathy, or perhaps you have the ability, like going back to that enthusiasm. Answer questions, support event coordinators. So, and escort special guests, direct parking, ushers. That all speaks to your ability to like juggle competing priorities. your organizational skills. So something like that would maybe go, oh, well, I should list on there that I have organizational skills. And then when you talk about the experience, you're going to show how you demonstrated your organizational skills and your ability to, I would also say, troubleshoot. Definitely critically think. Troubleshooting, critical thinking. You're going to have to be able to juggle competing things, and you're going to have to be able to determine what needs to take priority and how to juggle it all. And that takes critical thinking. Positive attitude, energetic, outgoing personality, social skills. So you're going to want to talk about those social skills. And that might also include things like, being multilingual, detail orientated. They call that out specifically. Project manage, act tactically, problem solve. Here we also have, we go back to the multitasking that we've already talked about. And then there's genuine, honest, sincere. So certain personality traits and how you might have demonstrated those in your experience, but you can absolutely list that as a skill. One of the very interesting pieces on this particular job description that I would call out for somebody is it calls for a valid driver's license. So I would certainly absolutely list on your skills that you have a valid driver's license. Now, would I recommend as a career peer ambassador that you list your driver's license on every resume? No, I would not. But the fact that this particular job specifically requests a driver's license, you totally take the ambiguity out of you as a candidate by absolutely listing on there that you have a driver's license. You will automatically go into the yes pile for that. But here again, that is very specific to this particular job description. And then it lends itself to the fact that I know we all want to have that one universal resume. We want to have that one universal cover letter that we don't have to change. But that is just not how resumes and cover letters are. Resumes and cover letters do need to have some specificity to the job that you're actually applying for. More so for the cover letter, absolutely more so for the cover letter. But the resume too, when you're talking about objective, it should be based on what the company is looking for, as well as your transferable skills and your translatable experiences. All of it needs to fit the actual job that you're applying for, because if you don't address those issues, you are not going to end up in the interview pile. So definitely stress in this particular one, the driver's license is absolutely advantageous to put on your resume. Now we're going to talk about translatable experience. So the goal is to have your experience listed on your resume such that it makes sense to the employer for the targeted job. So you want to show how your experience overlaps with the experience requirements listed on the job description. And I want you to know that you can find your translatable experience in group projects, individual projects, internships, mentoring programs, volunteer work, side gigs, activities, and specialized classes, particularly career technical education classes. I would call for you, those of you in science majors, if you take lab classes, you can absolutely tease experience out of your lab experiences. But when you go to sit down to write your resume, I would recommend that you pull out all your class material so that you can go down that memory lane and remind yourself of all the things that you did do in your lab classes. And it's not only just the techniques, but it's also the analysis, anything that you learn through your analysis, a challenge. Like you can absolutely have experience on there about how perhaps you completely did an experiment all wrong, but you figured it out and you figured out why then your results ended up the way they are. That just shows a deep level of thinking. So it's not just techniques, it's also how you applied your knowledge and how you learned from it. And that can absolutely come out of any lab classes. That also includes, social science labs that you take, anything, or, projects in your digital media classes. All of these hands-on experiences that you have can absolutely be turned into translatable experiences. So you could list underneath your education relevant classes, but I would also encourage you to use them as an opportunity to create experience bullet points for your resume. So I do want to make a couple of words of caution with translatable experiences. Make sure you don't oversell what you're responsible for. Here again, we're talking about an entry-level position or you entering a new career path. You're not expected to, if you're applying for an internship in cancer, to have cured cancer. That is not the expectation. Their expectation is not that you're going to have leadership experience in a lab. They're not expecting that. But also what I want to tell you to do is don't undersell what you accomplished. Going back to the example of the lab experiment that went all wrong, but how you were able to like figure out what you had done wrong and how you can apply your knowledge to figure out how you did it wrong and then why you got the result that you did, shows just such a great depth of understanding of the experience and of the material, that is an accomplishment not to be undersold. Never list anything on your resume or cover letter that you cannot talk about with confidence in an interview. We sometimes see students come through where they will have taken a single semester of German and want to include that on their resume. And I would caution you against doing that unless you would feel absolutely comfortable of running into somebody at your interview that might speak German to you. So that I don't want you ever to like find yourself in a situation in an interview where you're not 100% confident in what you have written. And that confidence builds when you go through this whole process of writing your resume and your cover letter. So you go through your stories, you go through your experiences, you think about the details, you're writing it on your resume and they're getting solidified in your head. And then you go to like write your cover letter. And then you think more and more about that experience. And you bring more life into it and you gain more confidence. So then when you go into your job interview, you have all your ideas, you've built a narrative around it and you're confident about talking about it. And that will definitely sell you in the interview. And it's a great process to go through to make sure that you have a complete, a wide and a deep narrative around who you are as a candidate with regard to the job description and the corporation or the organization that you're applying to. So just remember, as an entry-level applicant, you're being hired based on your potential. They totally understand that. So being confident in translating experience, it can be difficult, it can be trying, and it's not easy to do. And so that's why I want you to, we're going to walk through an exercise about it here, but I also want to take a moment to sell the Career Peer Ambassador services, that we're here to help you. And we want to make sure that you feel confident when you submit your resume and cover letter for a potential career position. So we definitely want you to come talk to us and book an appointment, and I will get further down. I'll show you the contact information at the end. But this whole process, like the brainstorming, everything, it doesn't need to be done alone. You can absolutely do it with a Career Peer Ambassador, and that's what we're here for. So please don't ever hesitate to contact us to book an appointment for your resume and for your cover letter to talk about how we can help you create that narrative out of your experiences. So I'm going to show you how I approached my job and applying for a Career Peer Ambassador. I had not had a formal work in over 15 years. So I was ready to break back into the world of paid work. But I knew I had a lot of experiences that I could bring to the table of this job. So I'm going to show you what I did when I applied for this position. So first, I take a look at the job description, and it's located right down here in the in this hiring flyer. And I pulled up out of the, you can see like it on the little part on the flyer, but I blew up the big job description piece. Career peer ambassadors are campus student leaders trained to facilitate the resources available through the San Diego Mesa College Career Center Department, including resume, cover letter building, interview preparation, job internship searching techniques, and peer-to-peer support. In addition, career ambassadors promote events such as the annual job fair, workshops and presentations, and campus activities. So I had 25 years of experience, 10 of it in biotech and 15 of it working with families, with students and adults and their parents. And so I ended up having a 3-page resume, and it would have taken an extreme amount of time for the hiring manager to look through all of that to try to find the pieces of my experience that aligned with the position. So instead, what I decided to do was design my resume around the job description. So here you can see my first experience bullet point. I pulled directly from the job description. Assist peers with job search, including resume writing, cover letters, interviewing, searching for job and internship opportunities. So I went through my 25 years of experience to find where there was a match between what I had done and with what this job was looking for. So my first bullet point, assisted San Diego Unified students through the graduation maze and onto college or career through college essay coaching, class recommendations based on student goals, and advocated learning supports available inside and outside of school. So that volunteer work about working through the graduation maze talks about and addresses job searching. So in this case, it was college searching and finding your way through college or career and applying it to the job searching that they're looking for in the career peer ambassadors. The college essay writing coaching lines up with resume writing and cover letters. So then the next line is built a strong online professional presence using LinkedIn that successfully attracted the interest of potential employers. So that addresses the searching for job and internship opportunity piece of that. It also addresses the overall piece of assisting peers with job search. It shows, and this is something that I did personally. It wasn't wrapped up in some formal job. It was something that I did personally to help myself out while looking for a new career. And it absolutely, that work applies to this particular job as career peer ambassador. So modernized and rejuvenated job seeking skills, including resume creation, cover letter writing, and interview preparation through the successful completion of personal growth and Microsoft Office Word classes at Mesa College. So this addresses the fact that, yes, I'm a Mesa College student. The important part, one of the important pieces that's actually in the job title is peer. So I address the idea of a peer. I'm a peer. You're looking for peers. Look, we match. Also, you can see in there, resume creation, hits resume writing, cover letter writing, hits the cover letters, interview preparation, hits the interviewing piece. And then going back to the fact that these things were all done through Mesa College. And so my knowledge of classes and things that could assist students and help them in searching for a career, I can point them to Mesa College resources that they can use. And then also the piece about here, extensive experience applying and securing job offers in the field of biotechnology. So it goes back to the fact that in order to move from company to company back then, they required skilled resume writing and cover letters and interviewing experience. So you can see, like, I have a mix of personal things that I did. I have an educational piece, an experience piece written out of my education. I have a piece written out of my informal volunteer work. And I've also created a bullet point out of traditional paying work experience. And so that's what we're looking for when we're talking about translating your experience. So like I said before, we are here to help you. This is not an easy task at all. This is like, you really are learning like a new language and a way to interpret things. And we want to make sure that, you know, your resume and your cover letter line up well with the job description, and that you're properly prepared by going through the succession of events of, you know, resume writing, cover letter writing, and then falling into the interview process to make sure that when you do hit that interview piece, which is what a lot of people find really they get really nervous with, that you are so prepared because you've worked with a career peer through your resume and through your cover letter, and now you're ready to land the job all on your own. So these are the ways that you can contact the career peer ambassadors to schedule an appointment. You can call, or you can email us, or you can you can all come up and visit us at the Student Services Building on the 3rd floor to schedule an appointment with one of us. So I hope that this workshop has been informative. What I really hope is that I hope it's made you feel comfortable. And I want you to feel comfortable with looking at your background and seeing how it aligns with the job description, and then pulling out those transferable skills and being able to translate your experiences. But more importantly, that you know that you don't have to do it alone. So please definitely make sure that you contact a career peer, because we're here to help you with your resume and your cover letter, and to build confidence in the work that you've already done. You've already, you know, shown your depth of knowledge and commitment through your education. And we want to help you be able to pull that out and put it on display for that right employer. So again, this is how you can contact us to schedule an appointment. And thank you very much for attending this workshop. And I hope it's been very helpful.